Are you struggling to keep your trim router under control, and is that affecting your accuracy? The big tool companies would have you believe that you need to upgrade your trim router to something a little bit better, or at the very least buy an aftermarket add-on that's always going to cost you more money than you wish it did. Well, I'm going to show you some solutions that are just as good and will only cost you the small change that's in your pocket. So let's have a look at the improvements I've made to my router setup. Now, instead of buying myself a coffee and a cake after the school run this morning, I've bought myself a piece of acrylic. What's great is this cost me £6. I'm going to cut it in half and I will get 2 jigs out of this. That's a jig for £3. You'll find one that cheap on the internet. One of the things I like the most here is that you can incorporate the original base into your design. There's no need to make this any harder than it needs to be. On top of that, you've also got your pre-marked screw holes as well as your centre hole, so there's no messing about further down the line. For me, the issue is fairly simple. For my trim router, the battery is located on the top. I've nothing against this design, I don't see where else it could go, but the problem that means is that it's top heavy. Conventional wisdom would tell you that anything that is tall needs a wide footprint. So why is this not the same? It's not a complex principle to get your head around, so all I'm going to do is copy that thought with a new design. So now that we've got our screw holes drilled, our centre marking cut out, and everything countersunk how we want it, it's time to take off the plastic and see how this looks. Well, that's looking quite good. It just needs a little bit of clean up on the edges, but I think this will look great. And now for the handle, you could literally use anything that you wanted here as long as you could grip it in your hand. I'm going to be using this, which is the end of a curtain rail. It's already got a threaded insert in it, and for me it lends itself perfectly to being a handle. It's amazing what you keep and what it ends up getting used for. But in all honesty, you could use anything. You could just use any block of wood that you could put a threaded insert or glue a bolt into, so you could get a little bit of purchase. If you really fancy, you could cut yourself something on the lathe. But I'm not going to go too deep into that because that's not what it's about. So it's time to put this thing to the test. Will it glide smoothly along a workpiece? Is it stable? And is there too much flex in this base? And for me, this has turned out great. It's really stable and it's going to make putting a round over or chamfer on a workpiece so much smoother. I've said it many times before, new tools don't make you better, but they do make your processes easier, and this is going to be one of those cases where this really simplifies a process and allows me to get a better finish, and that should stop me looking quite so amateur with my finishes. Now, I promised you 2 new bases for £6 and I'm a man of my word. This may be the internet, but I peddle no lies. Recently, I was bought one of these for Easter and it got me thinking, what do I need to do to adapt my router to be able to make gifts like this that I could put on my stall or sell in my local area? I thought if I could pair my router with my laser to make a template and a little flush trim bit, I would be onto a winner. So let's get into this second portion. Now, I have to say I have fast forwarded the beginning of this one because it is fairly similar to the last one. And there we go. Like I said, the first part is pretty much the same as the last build. What we need to do now though is attach the handles, and for this one we've got 2 handles to put on. So I'm going to chop this piece of dowel in 2 and that'll give us both handles that we need. And there we are, 2 bases finished. This has genuinely took me less than an hour, and that's with filming included. These things genuinely are worth their weight in gold, or at least £3 worth of gold. This one I'll be using in the next week to finish off a project, and I'm honestly so excited to get going. I hope you've taken something from this video. Like I say, £6, under an hour, 2 great upgrades. I don't think you can go wrong with that. I hope I see you on the next one, and until then, have a good time in your shop.